Hi, it's Barb. Welcome to the Pink Radish Vegan Kitchen. Today, I have a one-pot wonder for you. We are cooking at home. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to the Pink Radish Vegan Kitchen. Today, as I said, it's a one-pot wonder. And the reason why one pot is so important and really great is that it's one pot for one, and everything that you want or that you really need to cook for cooking at home, making it simple, it's not any simpler than a one pot meal. And today I'm going to show you, this has pasta in it, but hold on, we're going to talk all kinds of pasta and we'll get going. So I'm going to show you the ingredients. I got my cameraman Steve here with me today.
Hey there.
So let's take a look at what we're going to put in this one pot. Now, when you talk about pasta, my husband's ears perk up, okay? So, of course, it always starts with onions. This is got a tomato stuff, so it's garlic. And then here's an interesting ingredient. The recipe that I'm going to put down below, like I always do, is always my starting point. But I use what I have if I need to make an adjustment. Well, this is what is known as Muffuletta. And they do a lot of Muffuletta in New Orleans when they make sandwiches. They're, I think, luncheon meat and vegetables, and then they put this olive salad called Muffuletta. We got this at Costco. It's got spices in it, and it's got carrots and olives, because this is a very olive-driven recipe. The website is olive.com, so that should give you sort of a hint. So we're going to put Muffuletta in there, which is going to be really add a little bit of a salty umami flavor to it. We have organic diced tomatoes. It called for 28 ounces, but I'm going to use 14 ounces, and then I have some leftover Italian sauce, pasta sauce that I'm going to put in. This is Rouse, and I don't know if any of you know about this. This comes from a Italian restaurant originally in New York City, and this family makes this amazing sauce. This is a marinara. It has other kinds of flavors that they also make, but we love this. We get it at Costco when it's on sale. All I can do is say go ahead and spend the money on it, because you won't regret it. This makes always a delicious dish, no matter if it's eggplant parmesan or pasta or bolognese. This is always our go-to pasta sauce. Because we are going to be cooking the pasta in the pan today, we are going to add a cup and a half. Now the recipe calls for 2.5 cups, but I am using some different kinds of pastas today. It also just called for water, but this, you know, I gotta kick it up a little. So this is the mushroom bouillon. Let me show you. Better Than Bouillon makes some bouillons that you put in to flavor up your sauces and things. This is the mushroom variety. I love this. It's kind of hard to find. I have to get mine online, but this always makes a delicious base flavor to anything I add it to. So I wholeheartedly recommend that you add this to your pantry staple, and knowing that it is a little salty, so you know, plan accordingly. Reduce the amount of salt you may use in your dish altogether. But this is something that I can't live without. I really love this, and I can put a link for that down below in the description. Now our spices today are going to be oregano, a little bit of salt, and pepper. This is actually Italian seasoning. Now it called for red pepper flakes too, which is common in any kind of Italian, but this little olive stuff is kind of spicy, so we don't like to feel like we're being choked to death by our heat in our dishes. So for us personally here, we go a little bit more mild. Okay, so I think it's time to let's get sauteing. We got to give the onions a little bit of a saute. Bring my pot over here. So as I said, one pot. Got a little bit of coconut oil in here. You can use olive oil or avocado oil. It doesn't matter. So what we're going to do is first we're going to do about 3 minutes, and we're going to cook the onions till they're a little softer. If the olive salad didn't have carrots in it, I would have added carrots, because you know I love them and I add them to everything, and it's a great nutritional boost of flavor. So what happens is first we do the onions. We saute the onions down, And then when they're kind of soft and not even caramelized but maybe just a little brown around some of the edges, we are going to add the olives and the garlic. So we're going to let this go for a few minutes. You might see me stir it, but I want to show you the pastas, okay? So let's go and talk pasta. This is a one-pot meal where you are cooking the pasta in the broth as you're cooking this dish. If you've never done that before, do not be afraid to do it. It creates a beautiful sauce. It's nice and thick without being, too thick. And it's just a super simple way of putting the pasta in the pan, putting on the lid, all your vegetables in the pan with the pasta, and just letting it go for the 8 to 10 minutes that it requires to cook your pasta. So today we are doing a couple different kinds of pasta. As I said before, we're headed out in a few days, or at the end of the week perhaps, to our trip to our East Coast house. So I'm using stuff up. Here is 4 ounces of regular spaghetti that I've broken in half. This is going to go in as in the beginning cook for the 8 to 10 minutes. But I have a surprise for you. I am also going to add this edamame pasta. Now, if any of you have ever used this before, it is a pasta made with edamame. It's probably gluten-free. I can't say for sure. It doesn't say that on the box. Here's the box. This is edamame spaghetti. 24 grams of protein in it. So remember, all those people who say, "Whoa, where do the vegans get their protein?" Trust me, we get plenty of protein in the foods we eat, especially if you're smart about it. This is about it says there's 18 servings, but a 2-ounce serving size is 180 calories. So this is like your meat. This is going to go in, but it can't go in when you are doing the original pasta, because this only takes 2 to 3 minutes to cook. So this will go in probably even after I turn the pot off. I'll push this in and just let it soften up in the sauce. If I need to add more sauce or more liquid, I will at that point. So I'm going to stir the onions a little bit in case you can hear them going here in the pan. We got the onions sauteing. Now this is a half of a large onion. That's what it called for. And if you're not an onion eater, then you can leave it out. Maybe you would use a zucchini. In fact, you could add a zucchini in here very easily to sort of bump up the nutritional value of your dish. Now let's talk about that. When we're cooking from home, you get to control your recipe. You get to make the recipe your own. And what's so great about that is, you love zucchini, add it. You want to add spinach, add spinach. But we're always looking to add the vegetable element to increase the nutritional goodness of what we're making. And don't be afraid to think that that's not going to happen today, because it is. But I'm not going to tell you what that special ingredient is until we get to the actual point where I want to add it into the recipe. But stay tuned to the end of this video, because you're going to be surprised what I add to this. So now that we've been sauteing a few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and add, so you see a little bit of color on some of this. We're going to add the garlic. So cameraman, I'm just going to reach in front of you. Oh, and by the way, if you felt like you wanted to add a different kind of pasta, just go ahead and add whatever you have. This is it calls for 12 ounces of pasta in the recipe. What kind you choose, what flavor you choose, whether it's gluten-free or regular, it's all up to you. This is your recipe. Once you get the basics down. And I use the recipe just so I know how much water to put in, how much sauce needs to go in. Because I don't want to reinvent that. I just want to start with a recipe that I can customize. And that's basically what I do. Today we're busy, we're getting a lot of things done. I have some pants to hem for the cameraman, and I don't have a lot of time to spend cooking a more elaborate, kind of dinner. One of the videos that I hope to put out, and I might be working on it as we're on the road, is our eating style. All of us have an eating style. Not only do we have an eating style, but we have a spice style. And we've always had always had a preference for how we wanted to, what we like to eat. So let me talk about that. This is a really great story that I want to share with you a little bit. So this stuff sautés down a little bit more. So when we first went vegan 3 years ago, we ate a lot of one-pot meals because it seems like that's a lot of recipes in the vegan world are kind of one-pot meals. About I don't know, 8 or 9 months into the process, Steve says, I'm kind of tired of all of these like, casserole, dishes made in the skillet. Is there anything else? And I started to think about it, and really what we were missing was more of a texture. So sometimes what you do is you have the ability to make something that looks like a protein source, a potato or carb source, and your vegetables. Maybe that's your style. Maybe you like to see that protein, your carb, and your vegetables, or your protein and your vegetables. Maybe that's your style, that's how you prefer to eat. But really think about it. Or are you the skillet type? Do you want a one-pot meal? Do you love that soupiness? Do you like a soup? Is that what you'd like, would be kind of your style? Or are you like a sandwich person? I know I am. I love wraps and sandwiches, and I've come up with ways to make that part of our world a lot, because that's one of the things that I've always enjoyed is a really good sandwich. So we try to mix it up, but everyone has a preference. And if you're going to cook from home and you're going to learn to re-cook from home or start new, you're going to want to really look at your preference for how you like your meals to look. What is your style? The other thing is we all have a spice profile. I know I use a lot of garlic and onions and celery and carrots. That's kind of my profile. But occasionally I get out of the box and I do something like with a curry. And I find a really great chef that knows how to manage those spices. I follow it to the T, and I look at it so that I'm learning something new, a different kind of profile. In vegan cooking, it is all about the spice, so you really have to know what you're doing. All right, so let's stir, and then let's get some of the pasta in and get this dish covered and get it going. Cameraman, this is a really pretty shot. Let me move out of my little finger thing. Yeah, this is smelling good, isn't it? Kind of, yeah, really good. Yeah, really good. And so let's add the water and the mushroom bouillon. We're going to add our organic stewed chopped tomatoes. This is a pantry staple. You should always have this in your pantry. You should always have a pasta sauce in your pantry if you're going to be cooking it. And oh yeah, by the way, I wanted to let everyone know, just to know, if you're interested in, getting a really great pantry list going, go to my website at thepinkradishveganlife.com, and you'll see on the very front page that there's a pantry list there. Those are all the things that we usually buy, every couple weeks. Some of them are longer in duration on your shelf. But if you want to get started and figure out, well, what do I really need to start cooking from home and be healthier, then go to my website, and I'll put the link in the description below, and copy off the pantry list. All you have to do is just click into it and then print it. That's basically all you have to do. So let's add the tomato sauce. All right, so we're ready to add the pasta now, but not the edamame pasta. Remember, we're going to keep that back until the pasta is about 5 minutes from being done. These plant-based pastas, I got to tell you, you have to be careful because they will get really soggy if you cook them too much. They are not like a regular wheat-based, regular pasta. So there is the broth and all of the good stuff that needs to go in it. Oh, gotta add my spices, so let's get those in. Last video we forgot the carrots. I'm starting to wonder if that's going to be the way it'll be for all videos. It's okay. You guys know me. If you don't know me, hi. Anyway, so let's go in here. And also, by the way, you guys, it helps me to grow my YouTube channel if you would like and subscribe if you haven't done it. I only post a video or so a week. They're usually kind of fun and funny. And yeah, just give me a like and a subscribe. It helps a lot to grow my channel. All right, here we go. We're going to bring this up to a boil. And we are going to raise the heat a little bit. We're going to boil it. And when it's done, I will, still deciding about when I'm going to add this. I think, you know, it's only 10 minutes to 12, which means that we have quite a long time. We don't usually eat till between 5:30 and 6. I probably will, when this pasta is done, I probably will add this when I warm this back up and add it then. And then I have that secret ingredient that I'm going to add. Don't miss it. You're going to be so surprised about it, and I have some tips about it too. So anyway, I'll see you when this pasta is almost done. So what I did earlier was create the sauce, as you know, and then I wanted to cook the edamame spaghetti. And here it is. This only takes 2 minutes to cook, and I wanted to put it in the pan. And remember, this is a different step. It's the other recipe is just plain pasta. But anyway, I'm going to put some of this in there because I really want to use this up, number one. But I'm not going to add all of it. I'm just going to add, maybe a cup and a half, and then the rest of it we'll eat maybe with a salad and other vegetables and things. So you can see I'm incorporating that in to this pot of goodnessness.
Is that a word?
No, I don't know. They know what I mean. Anyway, so the pasta now is all nicely incorporated into the sauce. I got to tell you, this sauce is delicious. I've never thought of adding a olive like salad to any pasta that I've made, but I highly recommend it. If you like olives and you want to try the muffuletta in the sauce, it's tremendous. It really flavored it up in just a really nice balanced way. And there's also a little bit of lemon juice in there too, so it really isn't too acidic, but it has a lot of zing to it. Anyway, it's time now. You've waited all through the video to get to the secret ingredient for today, and I'm going to take it out of the oven now. And I cooked it earlier today. I didn't let on what it was, but it's something that people love to eat just sauce over, and it is spaghetti squash. So let's get it out of the oven. Get the oven off. I just wanted to warm it a little bit because I did cook it earlier today. In case you guys have never seen these are fabulous. I don't use pot holders anymore. I use these guys, and it works so well on the inside of the Instapot, which is kind of how these were born. But I use it for everything. I'm really working them big time. I'll put a link to them below in the recipe, below the recipe. So there it is. There's the spaghetti squash. So here's how I'm going to make Steve's dinner bowl. Those are both of our bowls. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little spaghetti squash in the bottom of this bowl. And this is just another layer of flavor, but honestly, people, it's all about upping your veggies. And so we're putting some spaghetti squash in. How I cook my spaghetti squash might be different than a lot of you do. And this is about a cup. We want to put a cup in. I bake it. I just cut that spaghetti squash in half. I cut it in half and scoop out the seeds, and I throw it in the oven. You could put it on a pan, but I just put it on the rack, and I do it with the cut side up. Spaghetti squash is best when it's not all soggy. You don't want it soggy. So this really helps to make the spaghetti squash nice and dry, and so it really strings up really great, and it becomes like a pasta. So this is a great way to get extra veggies into your body where it will do the most good. So anyway, so let's put some sauce on this, and then Steve will be ready to eat.
Excellent.
I know. I'm really excited about this. So it's a lot of really good other pasta in here too, with remember the protein that's in the edamame pasta is really good. So we don't want too much. We want to get a lot of the tomatoes in here. And look at that. It's really coming together great.
That's good.
That's a really good bowl right there. I'm going to put this over here. And that's going to be Steve's bowl. I just wanted to put a little bit of parsley on the top of it because remember we eat with our eyes first, and it only takes a second for you to put a few parsley flakes all around it and on it, and voila, beautiful bowl of pasta. Lots of veggies, really great flavor, one pot, and you got it. And that's what's great about this. So cook from home, cook at home. That's really simple to do. And this thing came together, you know, I'm talking and making a video, but if I got in here and chopped that onion and got everything fried up and got my sauce in and got the pasta in, 20 minutes. And when you see the recipe, you're gonna go, that's fabulous. So look for the recipe in the link below, and it's dinner time. See you in the next video.